Alright, I'm just updating because I'm kind of having, I'm feeling a breakthrough, or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's something I've realized 1,000 times before, but it's basically just, I was at Starbucks trying to study for my anatomy final, got an anatomy and physiology final tomorrow, and, I've been really frustrated because I feel like the information isn't getting in my head, and, like, you know, I study it, like, pretty much every 3 minute I have, and, it's just hard because, like, I'm always thinking, you know, when I should be studying about stuff, ed related, and, it's pissing me off, and I guess today I was just sitting there, and, you know, something came up, it was, that, you know, I'm studying right now endocrinology, and that has a lot of chemicals and just the way they affect the body, whatever. So one of the things that I was studying was how steroids are lipids. They're actually lipids, so they're non-water soluble. And I was like, oh, I can remember that. Like, I'm studying all this crap and I can't remember any of it, but, you know, just because it has the word lipid in it, which is fat, you know. Like, I got it in my head, you know. So, like, it's just everything in my head just relates to food, nutrition, weight loss. You know, if I could make my whole world be about that, if I could change every math problem into a way to calculate calories, I'd be so good at math. If I could make all of anatomy and physiology be about, like, weight loss and food, how it affects your body, all that, I'd be great at it, you know. And, like, the realization of that was so frustrating to me because I feel like it's something now, AMP is something that has been robbed because of the disorder or whatever. Growing up, like, if you ask, like, any of my family what my primary interests were, like, as a child, like, they would say, that it was art and anatomy, you know, like, as a 6-year-old, like, I'd ask for, medical encyclopedias for my birthday or Christmas, you know. I remember getting those little plastic bone kits that I loved putting together, you know, of the human body, and I would go to the library and I'd check out, like, medical encyclopedias that had photos in it, and I'd just, like, draw diagrams of the eyeball, and I'd label it, and I'd sit there and just memorize the parts, and, you know, have, like, all this stuff on my walls. Like, you can ask anyone, this is what, like, anatomy and physiology has been my life, you know, like, I freaking love it, and, like, I can't study, you know, like, I can't force myself to focus, because all I can think about is, like, what I ate, what I didn't eat, what I'm gonna eat, you know, like, Scale said this morning, Scale said that last night, what's going on, you know, like, and that's all I'm thinking about, and I'm like, it pisses me off, and it shows me how much this is, like a brain problem, because, I used to do a lot of volunteer work with children who had learning disabilities, and I think in particular of this child that I worked with who had, autism, and he, had a particular interest, as many people with autism spectrum disorders have, and his was airplanes. So, like, everything in the world we made about airplanes for him so that he could study. You know, like, if he had an English assignment, we would find something parallel for him to read that was about airplanes, because that was the only way to get him to read it. And if it was math, and we're trying to get him to say, you know, what's 1100 minus 300? We'd say, okay, so there's an airplane that has 1,100 gallons of gasoline in it, and it flies and uses 300 gallons of gasoline. How much gasoline is left in the airplane? You know, stuff like that. Like, we had to get creative with him. That was good. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, like, if I could somehow make my whole world be about that, I might be able to function a little better. But how messed up is that, you know? Like, God gave me a fully functioning brain. He gave me an interest. He gave me passions. And, like, this, like, stuff is still all I'm thinking about. And it's driving me freaking nuts. You know, I hate it. And it just, today, feeling kind of inspired to, like, kick anorexia in the butt, you know, and get over it. But, I mean, it's hard, you know. I'm looking at possibly having to repeat A&P, and that's the reality of what happens when I get back into those thought processes and those behaviors, you know. Like, I started off the semester, I was doing fabulous, you know, dropping 90s, 95s, 100s on all my tests. Now, last few grades, I failed my lecture final, my laboratory final, excuse me. You know, and now I'm struggling with the lecture final, you know. The real possibility is I'm going to have to repeat this class. And it just sucks, you know. I'm not going to give up, I'm not going to let it beat me, but I'm just feeling upset. Feeling like I kind of have a breakthrough of motivation today. Hope all of you guys are doing alright. Haven't had any views on my first video yet, so when I say you guys, I guess I'm talking to myself so far, but maybe you'll come and maybe this will mean something. I don't know. Anyway, peace.